Now, do you guys want a full Dallas Cowboys roster projection? If you do me a favor. Like today's show. Always want to make sure we're doing the videos that you guys care about. If you want it, like the video for me, please and thank you right now. Let's break down the Cowboys depth charts, position by position. 3 QBs on the roster. Dak Prescott, Joe Milton, and Will Grier. Those will almost assuredly be the 3 guys they carry throughout the NFL regular season. Dak Prescott has to stay healthy. That is, none of the stuff we're going to talk about here really matters if he can't stay healthy. It kind of all falls apart quickly, and then it's like, well, is Will Grier really a guy you want to play, or is he like the vibes backup, where he'll help the starter quarterback get prepped and be the good locker room teammate guy and be the good sideline guy? That's a lot of what you're looking for. And then Joe Milton is your developmental young QB prospect who will play a ton in the preseason, which does make things kind of exciting. But 4 has to stay healthy, and that's a concern for me. The running back room looks very different. Javonte Williams in on a 1-year deal. Miles Sanders in on a 1-year deal. Jaydon Blue, Phil Mafah, drafted. Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Luepke back, but not guaranteed roster spots. Luepke's the fullback, so maybe has the best chance sticking around, but nobody, I would argue, really outside of Jaydon Blue is truly guaranteed a roster spot on this team. Everyone else is so cheap, they can easily get cut. Javonte Williams didn't play that great the last 2 years. He hasn't been the same since that knee injury. That should raise red flags. Can he be better in Dallas? The pass protecting, the third down value helps. Jaydon Blue kind of cuts into that. Miles Sanders at one point looked super good. Maybe we can get the Miles Sanders revenge game touchdown against the Eagles in week 1. That'd be helpful there. He also wasn't as good in Carolina. My concern is he is a product of the environment around him too much. Is this the perfect environment? I'm actually not so sure. I wouldn't be shocked if Jaydon Blue ends up emerging as the Cowboys' number 1 back. What that volume looks like, though, is a question mark to me. Like, does it look like 134 carries like it was at Texas? Can he handle a larger workload? All of those things are big question marks. And it's an area that I go, okay, monitor for upgrades, especially if, Javonte or Miles Sanders just don't look great early in camp, if they look like they have indeed lost a step. Who do you think ends up being the Cowboys' rushing leader at the end of the season? JW for Javonte Williams, MS for Miles Sanders, JB for Jaydon Blue, O for other. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. If we had done this 2 weeks ago, very different conversation on the wide receiver room. CeeDee Lamb is there as your number 1. We'll come back to the names here, but George Pickens is in place now as the 2. There is, I'll call it football character stuff. You have to make sure is dialed in, is locked in. He is in a contract year. But this went from I question if the Cowboys have enough playmakers on offense to, hey, Lamb and Pickens is probably like a top 10 receiver duo pretty easily. Still other question marks. You just mentioned the backfield, obviously. Jalen Tolbert as a 2, don't like that. As a 3, okay, let's go with me. Turpin's kind of a gadgety player, but it fits. They'll try to develop Mingo still. That leaves Flournoy and Brooks and Campbell and Cropper and, former UDFA, Kelvin Harmon and Josh Kelly and Trayshawn Holden fighting for 1, maybe 2 spots at wide receiver, plus obviously practice squad spots. Now, you can pre-order the George Pickens jersey today. Chatsports.com/Pickens. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It says 0 now. You can pre-order it, and Fanatics will ship you the actual number once that gets squared away. It's chatsports.com/Pickens. The tight end room didn't get any real changes here. Jake Ferguson back. Hopefully he's going to play better this upcoming season. Luke Schoonmaker is back. The Cowboys have history of a UDFA emerging as a guy that makes the roster. It was John Stevens, Spanford, it was Hendershot. Can Rivaldo Fairweather, Tyler Neville be that guy this year? The biggest thing you need is Jake Ferguson to look more like the 2023 version. He wasn't as good in 2024. hurt early, didn't look as explosive, maybe gained a little bit too much weight to try to block better. He has to play like the 2023 version. I think that's where Pickens actually does help. Lamb does such great work over the middle. Jake Ferguson does such great work over the middle. Pickens can work on the outside. That should open things up a little bit. Offensive line. Barring injury, these should be your starting 5 players. Tyler Guyton, who we'll talk about here more in depth at the end. Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, Terrence Steele. Those should be your 5. The backups are more up for grabs. Hoffman will be one of them. I think Austin Richards should be one of them. I think Robert Jones will be one of them. Ajani Cornelius, TJ Bass. That's also, though, Nathan Thomas. And they signed Akeem Adeniji, Sadiq Charles. And I wonder if the Cowboys brought in Adeniji and Charles, with no guaranteed money, by the way, to make preseason football competent, to give them a good environment up front to actually eval Joe Milton, so he's not running around for his life with some undrafted free agent offensive lineman from Western Oregon. That's why I think they brought those guys in. But I need better play from Tyler Guyton. Offensive line, in many ways, I think can be kind of a weak link unit, where if your worst guy is bad, the whole line looks kind of bad. All of Guyton's issues are correctable. It's not like he's an untalented player, but he has to be more technically sound. He can't dip his head into contact as much. It kind of, I think, also got worse almost as the year went along. I think he had lost some confidence too, but he has to be better. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting next offseason going, hey, is left tackle still a big-time question mark for you? We'll have more free Cowboys videos for you each and every single day right here on the channel. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. The 3 technique, it's going to be Osa Odigizua, Solomon Thomas. Denzel Daxon is a practice squad player in the end. Tommy Akingbaswate is maybe emerges, but I think he's more of a practice squad guy. And that leaves nose guard question marks for me. Mozzie Smith is one. Jay Toia, Justin Rogers, 7th-round picks. I'm excited about Toia. Had a higher grade on him, but is he going to be an instant impact player as a DT in the 7th round? I don't know. You need Osa to be what you're paying him to be. The market value, it came in less than what he could have gotten on the open market. That doesn't really matter, though, once the season begins. At that point, I don't care much about contracts. I care about, hey, are you playing well enough? Can you do more for me? Osa, with the upfront talent within Eberflus's system, I need impact. Not just pressures. I need sacks and forced fumbles and TFLs, too. They're going to give Mozzie every chance again this year at nose guard. I am worried about this group as it sits right now. I thought Mozzie, especially against the run, was better last year. Better does not mean good enough. And to an even more extreme extent than Guyton, if Mozzie doesn't take a big-time step forward this season, you have to question if it's ever going to happen. So I want honest answers here. What is your confidence level right now in Mozzie Smith? Scale it from 1 to 10 in the comments of today's show. Defensive end depth chart then. Micah, Dante Fowler, Donovan Ezeraku, Marshawn Nealon, Sam Williams, Peyton Turner. There are your 6 guys. I think that's kind of easy. Those are your 6 guys on the roster. You signed Dante Fowler to a 1-year deal. Turner's on a 2-year deal. You spent second-rounders on Ezeraku, Nealon, Williams. Tyrus Sweet will make it to your practice squad if you want. Luigi Villain, Ernest Brown. Them boys going to play a lot in the preseason. They're going to play a lot because you're not going to play Micah and Fowler and probably not Nealon, and going to probably limit Ezeraku at least a little bit because he should play a key role for you. You need Micah to get paid too, and let's just get that out of the way. I think it'd be super cool if you got to training camp and he was already paid and it wasn't an issue and the Micah deal was done and we didn't have to have the same conversation for another consecutive offseason. Is he going to get paid or not? I think that'd be super cool. The linebacker room. Overshown will not be good to go for week 1, so we're going to label him as hurt. So keep that in mind. But they added Kenneth Murray. They added Shamar James. They added Jack Sanborn. They bring back Maurice Leofau. They bring back Damone Clark. Darius Harris could be a special team. Like those last 3 guys, Justin Barron, Darius Harris, Buddy Johnson, probably all going to fight and compete for the last linebacker spot as a mostly special teamer. And that, maybe they carry 6. Maybe it's only 5. Maybe one of them could usurp a Damone Clark. Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray, by the way, not guaranteed roster spots with the way their contracts are set up. Now, Overshown, I want him healthy. I think he's going to be good in the Eberflus defense, but that's another bad knee injury. I know he's mentally tough. He came back great before getting hurt again. There's going to be an asterisk until further notice on him, unfortunately. Let's go to cornerback. Week 16 should be pretty good. Bland and Diggs and Savone Revel should be good to go by then. And Kaiir Elam. And we'll see what his status actually looks like. I don't really trust Kaiir Elam too much in the end. Kalen Carson coming off of a not good season. Also should have mentioned Josh Butler is banged up. Won't be ready to go for week 1 necessarily either. So all of those things are like real concerns. And as it sits right now, I kind of think Israel Mukuamu just ends up being your day 1 nickel corner. And as weird as this actually sounds, I think that the best case scenario and the worst case scenario for you as the year plays out, it's actually DaRon Bland is playing nickel for you. Because the best case scenario is that Trayvon Diggs comes back and he's healthy. And he's good to go. And he's an instant starter on the outside. That's one of them. And Savone Revel is healthy. Plays the guy I think he can be. That I know many of the Cowboys think he can be. And it's okay, well, our 3 best corners are Revel, Diggs, and Bland. Bland's got to go play nickel. That's the best case. Worst case is, shoot, Izzy's terrible. We have no nickel. We have to play DaRon Bland there. That's kind of how it plays out, potentially. Of the 2 hurt guys, the 2 hurt starter guys, I should say, who returns first? TD for Trayvon Diggs, DO for DeMarvion Overshown. Let me know in the comments of today's show. 4 clear-cut roster players: Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas. Can one of Mike Smith or Elijah Clark or Zion Childress emerge as a 5th safety option who mainly helps on special teams? Maybe, but I think the clear-cut 4 are clear-cut. Clark, Childress, and Smith are going to play a ton in the preseason because those first 4 guys are not going to play really at all. Special teamers here: Brandon Aubrey, Brian Anger, Trent Sig, Kavontae Turpin handling both duties there. Other backups are like Deuce Vaughn. Can you try Jaydon Blue there? Didn't do a lot of it in college, but worth a shot. Wanye Thomas, Deuce Vaughn, Parris Campbell, Jalen Cropper. It's kind of a weird grouping behind Kavontae Turpin. So those guys are kind of the main elements there.